Thank you for joining me again for Naturally Inspired Media's interview panel. I have today Denise Mahaffey as my guest. Thank you so much, Denise, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Tasha. It's been a while.
It has too long, right?
Way too
Um,
long.
yes. So I'm glad that we're getting back to it, especially together. Today, we're going to talk about pioneering industries. So, inspiring audiences, Denise's career path includes technology, community outreach, and pioneering industries. Here is some of Denise's backstory. So, highly accomplished, by the way. At 17 years old, she was JVC's youngest executive assistant to a VP of North America. Relocating to Hawaii, falling in love with the people and the islands, the experience would inspire Malama marketing. Gaining retail manager and administrative support experience, she achieved total quality management certification, a predecessor to Six Sigma, and this was all before the age of 25. So, Denise, those are just a few things. Can you share some of your other career insights?
Absolutely. So, for those that came after me, those that are younger than me, my advice is follow your heart and write a bucket list. Just 3 items, just 3 things. And if you stick to those 3 things, you'll probably do them all. When I left Hawaii, I thought, okay, what is my final frontier? Well, it was cars because I love old classic cars, and I did restore a classic car. The second was computers, and third was kids. So Auntie never had any kids of her own, but she's taken care of plenty. But I do want to show you that dreams do come true. This is, if you can see it, it's an article from the San Diego Business Journal where it does say that as I was director of marketing, I was able to produce a program called Computers for Kids. So we ended up donating more than 625 computers to needy schools and families that really, really needed technology. And it started in the San Diego market, but I've always had the media bug in me, I suppose. So partnering with a terrestrial radio station, an FM station, really, really promoted my program. And it spread virally, I would say, in the region. And I got to tell you, another big thing that happened as National Director of Marketing, I was managing about 65 accounts at once. And these are manufacturers from Apple to Xerox. And with that, and being able to create a profit center with my division, I grew it tenfold. And because of that, I was able to take some of the overflow and create my community outreach programs. I was honored to sponsor Major League Sports. I do have some memorabilia, so I can show you that this is really, really real. This is probably, I would say, the last Super Bowl that San Diego ever saw. We were corporate sponsors to the NFL through the San Diego Chargers. And just so you know, it's for real. There's
Oh,
pictures of me in
wow.
here. This is the Gold Club. This is the Skybox. So we had a Skybox for baseball, Skybox for football. I was able to support entertainment venues and sponsor them through their entire seasons. I mean, these are some of the really cool things that you can do in the community, just as being a marketer. Let me show you this. This is one of my favorite keepsakes from Hawaii. This is an NFL Pro Bowl coin. It's
Amazing.
number 5 of 55. So this is just proof that if you follow your dreams, you'll get there. May not be exactly how you had envisioned it, but eventually you'll get there if you keep following your heart. So I would say by it was definitely by the time I was 30, I was national director of marketing. And then I ended up getting the entrepreneurial bug and I started my own company. This was really cool. Called Malama Marketing. And this is direct marketing news. If you reach out to companies and tell them how their innovations are positively impacting your business, sometimes you get written up in case studies. So just saying
Amazing.
that's an option. And then I thought, you know what? Somebody actually told me in my career that this was going to happen for me. And I thought, no, I never. Believe it when you hear it from other people. This is, it's kind of blurring, but this was a magazine from San Diego's region, San Diego Metropolitan. And I really did get the 40 under 40 award. So this is something that I call it my immortality award. Or yeah, it's immortality because I'm forever under 40. So I highly recommend doing everything that you possibly can in your community to win that award. So you are immortal, baby.
Let me ask you this. Looking back on your experiences, which
Uh-huh.
one would you do again?
All of them,
All of them?
all
Exactly
of
the
them,
way that you did it?
because I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have the experience. I wouldn't have the memories. I it, it happened the way it was going to happen. Um, Interestingly enough, when you're talking about pioneering industries, sometimes you might get pulled in on projects where you're looking at a prototype and the prototype becomes a physical thing. And then the physical thing has a real world application that can help people in extreme conditions. Such is the case with this little ditty, which is a ruggedized hard drive. You can drop this thing from 3 feet and your data is safe. So I would say, I think somebody told me this one time, you don't find sales, sales finds you.
I would agree.
Do you agree?
I would 100% agree for sure.
That's what happened with this one. So there was an application for it in the federal government, and it took a few years to have it become a standard, but it was a standard and it was an incumbent. So for sales professionals out there, where you may have a niche product, keep going because you can make it a standard. You really can. So yeah, that was a pretty incredible experience. I cannot remember how many trade shows I went to. There were so many. There were so many. But here's the bonus for me is I got a plaque. Can you read that?
Yeah, if you hold it just right in front of you.
There you go.
Perfect. Wow.
Twice.
Wow.
Twice. So
Hard work and dedication and loving what it is that you do, having a passion for what it is that you do when that sales bug finds you, right? That's essentially what happened to me as well. I was teaching and then I was, maybe I'll take a stab at being an entrepreneur. What is that like? Right. And so now naturally inspired media, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that particular product line enabled our special forces in the federal government to use computer equipment out in the field in extreme conditions. So at the time, it was very needed. So it was an experience, and I'm happy that I have the plaque and my data is still safe. My data is still safe on that hard drive. So at that point, I really got into community outreach, and I've supported, I would say, between 40 and 50 nonprofit organizations volunteering through the course of my career.
Yeah.
And the 40 under 40 award, that was amazing. but there's more. I ended up making an event called Inspire San Diego Day, and I got a proclamation from the city of San Diego. So I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but
Yeah, congratulations on that.
yeah.
That's, you
So
know, when you, I'll say this, what I have learned in this is that when you are inspired from your heart and you live your passion, that you turn around and you spread that out. And it's community wide. It can be nationwide, it can be global. You know, there are so many opportunities to give back, or there are so many opportunities to become an example. There are so many opportunities to serve, right? And I think that all of these things are a prime example of that.
right. And that event came together. It was co-produced with a friend of mine from the technology industry, a very dear friend. And you know what? The speakers, the caliber speakers that we had they were just unheard of. And I think we sold tickets for like $20 so we could cover our cost. And people were wondering why we didn't sell them for like 200. And it was because we were supposed to be inspired, you know? We weren't
Right.
gonna make money off it. We were just trying to inspire everybody.
Yeah.
So those opportunities did come up. Um, so in public relations, I'm also I'm a consultant, but I've had the pleasure of consulting to Xerox. And I tell you what, the Xerox experience was incredible. It was a life changer. For me to participate in the North American Reseller Advisory Council and to talk about at the time, right when it was coming out was the Green Printing Initiative. But it inspired me so much to know that there are specific technology applications that can change the world and influence how we do business. So nowadays, everything's going to digital transformation.
Yeah.
So,
Quickly.
we print when we have to, but yeah, so that was an incredible experience to be able to be in that group of innovators. That was very, very cool. And I appreciated the opportunity to do that. Um, and as somebody called me a publicist one time, and I said, I'm not a publicist. I just do PR. And they're like, yeah, right. So I ended up getting a call from a hotel here in San Diego who had a group coming in, and she says, you're the person they need to talk to because they need news coverage. And I said, well, when is the event? And it was within like a week and a half. And I thought, okay, well, guess what? Got another award.
No way.
This group was so cool to work with. They take rescue dogs and they train them to be fire canine dogs.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it was one of the best dog stories I have ever produced as a publicist. I'll go ahead and own it at this point. So yeah, I'm a publicist, which just means I do PR. That's all. But after that, here's the really cool part is I was invited by the San Diego Foundation to take part in this unprecedented program that would plan civically for 50 to 100 years. So it's not what does my life look like?
Yeah,
It's what do the kids that I help to raise,
right.
what's their kids' life going to be like? And it was literally unheard of. And it is the largest body of data that has ever been produced in the region. And now it's I think it's held at one of the universities, but that was a major endeavor. So as a result of that, I became an ambassador to the San Diego Foundation, which is very cool. I didn't even know you could do that, but it was a very, very cool opportunity. So hey, you know what? Follow your heart. do what you know how to do, and eventually you just kind of fall into these circles. And together as a community, we're so much stronger than just one individual. That I know for sure.
Yeah. And, as you're demonstrating, how you have put that action, right? Again, putting that passion into action, and then what the result of it is. And it's at the end of the day, it's really not about a plaque. It's not about an award. It's about that long-term
Mhm.
effects,
Mhm.
the impacts that you have on the entire community, and not, you know, just like you said, not just for 50 years. It's not just the children, it's their children's children and their children's children's children. It's a really long term stretch into the future. And um I'm just astounded by all of the accomplishments that you have, because again, it's when your heart is in the right place, these are the things that can come back to you. And it's knowing that a piece of you is going to last within the community, right?
Mhm.
And
It's leaving a
so,
living legacy.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. It's leaving the legacy, and passing down that knowledge, or creating these structures that then aid and assist and serve in the community, and what that looks like. Um, one of the one thing that you haven't mentioned yet is about the natural companies that you have worked with.
Mhm.
And so can you share some of the natural companies? Because,
Sure.
again, like, these things are not just about the impact that you've had on specific, industries, or what you've done in the community, but also health, right? Long-term health impacts as well.
Mhm. So here's an interesting thing. Some of the projects that I've been asked to participate in, like I said, they go from initial products to full-blown companies. And typically when I'm brought into a project, it's usually on the ground floor. This was ground floor. You may recognize this magazine.
Yes, that was my first entrepreneurial endeavor.
This right here is, goodness, there we go, right there. This was the first hemp oil article that came out, period.
Yeah.
In San Diego. And I I went from, the regional publication to national publication.
Wow.
And oh yeah, but that I didn't stop there. So in order to have this product be accepted worldwide, it would take hundreds of press releases. And I personally booked more than 1,000 interviews to
Whoa.
have this class of product, which is hemp oil, um, become recognized. Become recognized because it was taken out of the US pharmacopoeia in the early 1900s. And so when you saw hemp make its resurgence,
Mhm.
that's that's what the whole initiative was about, was to create global awareness that it is non-psychotropic, it's just hemp. And since then, everything came full circle. So we had that product, cosmetic products, pet products. This is one of my favorite products.
Mhm.
Now, we had to do PSAs because of children who were moved or moving, relocating to a state at that point. It was Colorado. They were moving to Colorado to access the product when we all knew that they could get it online instead. So at specific conferences that I had attended, I even marketed out to the room keys
Cool.
these are hotel room keys. So these are branding opportunities that I used as a PSA, a public service announcement.
That is ingenious.
So yeah, that's the level of attention that I had to pay in order to take a product that was in its fledgling state and make it widely known.
Yeah.
So bringing it all full circle,
So much experience, Denise.
well, today, if you look at the Associated Press says that 1 in 5 Americans has used CBD. And I think Statista just earmarked it at a $9 billion global industry.
Yeah.
So literally going from one office in San Diego to now it's everywhere.
Yeah. World. Yeah. It's worldwide.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say everywhere. It's almost,
Yeah.
there are certain countries that are they that are not legalized for hemp, but those that are, they do have accessibility now. And I was able to see federal laws change in certain countries in 3 days and see the whole wave go from what I was communicating out through South America, Mexico, Canada, Europe, outlying parts, and then it all came back to the United States in 2018. So that was pretty full circle. Um, so yeah, I'm just saying, dream big, go big,
Well,
follow your
now
heart.
we're going to get to the part of the interview that is going to be my most favorite is when I met Denise. So, right. So, okay, let's back up a little bit. So, maybe 1 year before I had met you, okay, you moved to Las Vegas. You launched Trinity Global Enterprises. So that was the point with which I had met you was in 2020. And I had the prestigious honor. I mean, just when you asked me to be a media sponsor, I couldn't believe it. My mind was absolutely blown. But I was afforded the opportunity to interact in that space in a way that I had never before, right? So again, humble teacher, for 12 years, turned media sponsor, entrepreneur, how does that happen, right? And so, we launched, or you launched, and then I joined. So together we produced an entire series of Canner World Expo that went through, I came at the tail end of 2020, and then it was through part of 2021. And so can you speak to that experience a little bit?
Sure. So COVID happened, lockdown, and I thought, oh boy, you know what is the natural products industry gonna do? And I got the bug to leverage Zoom in a way that we could go ahead and host a virtual conference, which we did. And we did it multiple times. So we did it quarterly, which was amazing. We had so many incredible, powerful speakers. One in particular, this is going to make you laugh.
Yes, I remember.
Do you
I
remember?
found my t-shirt the other day.
Yeah. So we were honored by Cheech Marin, who sent us a video and of appreciation for what we were doing on behalf of the veterans and creating awareness for suicidal ideation, prevention, suicide prevention, essentially. So anyhow, so yeah, we have had him as a guest speaker kind of through video, but one of the ultimate highlights was having Dr. Joe Vitale on from The
Yeah.
Secret. You may recall him from
Yeah.
the documentary.
I couldn't believe that I was interviewing him. It was I don't know, my teeth were chattering. Like I was so nervous and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't stop shaking from, interacting with him. It was just, one of those moments that I cannot believe that this is happening to me right now. It was one of those moments for
Such a
me.
cool, down to earth person.
Yeah, chill, just really, really chill guy.
And he said this is going to happen. So he was telling all of us about how, you know what, yeah, he had done a lot in his career and a lot in his career, but what he ended up doing was becoming a musician. And I
Yeah.
thought, okay.
Yeah.
And
That's what his
we're
heart always wanted to do.
so if Dr. Joe Vitale says just follow your heart, yeah, well, I took his advice. And okay, now here's the funny part. I'm going to try to screen share. And if this doesn't work, I know Tasha's going to be able to edit it out,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go ahead and try to play for you what I did in my artistic outlet, which is writing. And I'm going to try to play you part of a book that I wrote.
The vehicle races the island's two-lane road, blasts through an aurora, and emerges out of a portal and into the resort's entrance. The driver stops quickly, lunging the sisters. Braced for the sudden stop, flying into action, both start to give the driver the maximum number of gold stars, when he stops them saying, "I'll pay to see this." Laughing and saying, "BRB," the sisters switch to telepathy. Shuffling spa slippers, squeal-lolling about shopping. The shadow slips on a stair. And down go both sisters. Shielding their faces in a fit of laughter, sailing soon, the sisters spot the shop. And scurry. In the shop, soothing surf sounds swirl the sisters' senses. Spotting sustainable sundries, they start smelling silky smooth, soothing salves.
You have already made the official announcement, technically, of this endeavor, right? But
Yes.
go ahead and I will put, I don't know, here, maybe, I don't know, or here. I'll put volume 1 here, maybe, and I'll put volume 2 here, maybe. So let's talk about some of the things that you're doing currently, some of your current endeavors.
So currently, I just published 2 novels. That was an excerpt from Quantum Entanglement, A Hero's Journey. It is hilarious. I think we've created a new genre, which is sci-fi, rom-com, self-help.
Yeah.
That's the genre, just saying. There's 2 books in the series. The second is volume
So
2.
far.
So far, the second is volume 2. Good grief, the devils you know. And it is just straight up comedy from start to finish. It's fast paced, as you can tell. It's an adventure from page 1. So thank you, Dr. Joe, for inspiring me to actually do it. I did it. And what you were hearing is, and I wish I screen shared that. While it was doing its text to speech, its automated voice, I manipulated the content so that it sounds conversational. So it's not a monotone AI voice. It took months to do this. So very
Quantum leaps.
So I'm shooting for by the summer to be able to record that and have that out on audiobook through Google. The books are available through Google Books and also through Amazon right now, ebook and print. But once you hear it the way I hear it, you're literally going to pee your pants laughing. It is so funny. It
Yeah.
is so funny.
So I have had the pleasure of reading the first half of volume 2, and there were moments where I couldn't stop laughing. Again, English teacher, I could not stop laughing. I couldn't stop reading. It was, what is going to happen next? There were all of these different elements that you had included that I had never seen before, right? So the inclusion of onomatopoeia, for example, as we had heard in that section, And it was just, how do you tell a story using words that repeat the sound, the beginning sound, and all the words for pages and pages are only that same sound. I could not believe what I was reading, and then just now what I was listening to, right? And so it's phenomenal when people read that. It's, I mean, still laughing, that thrill, the adventure, all of that is in that book. And I know volume one, and I know that was volume one, and there were tidbits in there just from knowing you that I was like, I know what that part's about,
Mhm.
And so, because the inspiration for these things comes from real life, right? And so it's knowing that, for me, knowing that what the inspiration was, but for other people, part of the fun and part of the sci-fi part of that would be, what was the inspiration, right, for that particular section, right? And so I think that that's another thing that would really intrigue audiences, is that it would be, this is a real life person who has used their real life experiences in order to create this thing. It's so engaging. What was the story behind that? That's me. I'm that person, was like, what was the impetus behind this that triggered that section of the story? Um, so again, I think that the big takeaway here is that when you follow your heart, you follow your dreams, you follow your passion, you serve the community, you do amazing things. And hopefully the watchers that are out there, or the listeners that are out there, take away this inspiring human that is Denise, that is a gift to the planet. And at some point, the universe, right? At some point, the broadcast will reach off of the planet. As we know that as technology moves faster and faster over the coming years, just really, Denise, thank you so much for being just here and on this planet and in the lives of all the people that you have touched. I mean, just really sincerely from my heart, I am so happy and so grateful to know you.
Thank you. I have one more thing that I'm going to do.
Oh gosh, more
it's-
surprises.
It's the art. It's the art, Tasha. So yeah, I kept going with it, and as I was writing the books, something caught my eye, and it was a reflection off of my phone screen, and I thought, what am I seeing? So I would really like it if we could play out this interview, and I'll screen share, and I'll just let it speak for itself. How's that?
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know what, from just a kid out of high school that followed her heart, hopefully this has inspired some individuals, and I'm going to play us out. Here we go.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks.